before you get your first reptile, don't do what I did. I wasted a lot of money, bought all the wrong stuff, and I even burnt out a heat bulb or two. Here's a few things you actually need, and it's gonna save you a lot of money in the long run. So the first things you're gonna need are a UVB and a basking bulb. This is where a lot of beginners mess up, and you don't need that $80 pet store UVB all-in-one starter kit. What you do need is a good tubular UVB light. You also need to research your reptile and make sure you're giving it bulbs and gradients of heat that it's actually gonna need. UVB is how your reptile is absorbing the calcium that you're giving it. Without this, it's gonna die. And if your reptile is not vibing like this, then your UVB ain't right. Okay, let's talk about enclosures. It's so easy to waste a lot of money on a bunch of stuff that looks really, really cool, but you really don't need. So I made a mistake early on and I actually got my reptiles very, very sick. I ended up getting them mites. And that's a story for another time, but that's why I'm making this channel, to help people, and I don't want people to make the same mistakes I did, right? It was hard for me to understand all these different videos and all this information I was getting, and it just didn't make sense. So I want to make it as easy to understand as possible. So if you're going to use wild stuff, you can do that. If you get wood, you just need to bake it 350 to 400 degrees in the oven, and it's safe to put in your reptiles enclosure. If you're using rocks, same thing. All you got to do is just boil them, and they're safe to go into an enclosure. Now, I don't want to spend $60 on bags of dirt for my reptiles enclosure, right? You can go to Home Depot and you can get play sand. It's a few dollars a bag and you get a lot of it, and it's safe for your reptile. Make sure you're just customizing the tank to your reptile's needs. I suggest getting a thermostat, a hide, and a good basking area. That's really all you need. Just make sure that your reptiles are comfortable and happy in their enclosure, right? The plants are more for us, less for them, but it does make your reptile feel happier and at home. I promise that your reptiles are gonna thank you in the long run, and it's not gonna hurt your pockets. So the last thing we need to talk about is feeding your reptile. Now your reptile is either gonna eat greens or it's gonna eat bugs. It's pretty simple. Now if it eats bugs, don't just feed it solid mealworms. Do not be that person, please. If your reptile is eating greens, make sure you give it a variety. You're not just giving it one solid thing. Different greens are gonna have different stuff. Also, greens can be dusted. I don't know if everybody knows that, and I didn't when I was starting out. But dust the greens in calcium. Make sure you're giving your reptiles also multivitamins once or twice a week, just to make sure that they're getting everything they need. Now, if you're feeding your reptile bugs, you can get crickets and gut load them. That's gonna be so much more beneficial to your reptile, and they're gonna love it so much more. All you gotta do is throw some greens in with your crickets, some carrots, and they're gonna eat it, swell up, and it's gonna gut load them, right? Just make sure you're giving a variety of a diet to your reptile, and make sure that it's healthy and happy, and they're gonna love you so much longer, and they're gonna thank you for this, and it's gonna feel so good as an owner watching your reptile thrive. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you got any questions, drop them down in the comment section below. I respond to all comments. I don't know everything, but I'll do my best to help you. If you guys want some more chill, easy to understand reptile advice, I'm just trying to make the hobby a little bit easier to understand and make sure that everybody knows and the beginners understand that it's not so scary to get into. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.